Welcome, everybody, to the Real Estate Investing Show. I'm Clayton Morris. So glad to have you here. I'm the founder of Morris Invest, which is a full-service rental real estate company. You know, a number of years ago, we were turnkey, and we went beyond turnkey, realizing that customer service is the number one thing that you can provide. So Morris Invest, along with our team at Sedera Wealth, that's what we do, is help people invest in real estate where they can be totally hands-off and have a great team helping them, guiding them through the entire process. So if you'd like to book a call with our team, you can do so by going to morrisinvest.com and jump on a phone call, and you can see how we can find a great solution to help you reach financial freedom. We are all about cash flow. And I have to say, I'm really angry because we've had a number of clients that have come to us recently who told us, because they've worked with other companies. I'm not going to name any companies. I don't do that kind of stuff. But where they told us that the companies are telling them they have to buy a property at a higher than the appraised value price. Can you imagine that? So let's say the property appraises for $200,000. They're being told by these other quote unquote turnkey companies that they have to buy it for $220,000. But that's just the fee to work with them, basically. Yes, it won't appraise for what you're buying it for. Can you imagine? Like, here's a house, buy it for more than it's worth. Like, that's what people are being told. Unbelievable. Another company we heard from, these, again, clients that we have who've told us these stories. And I just wanted to share this with you because we just had a big team meeting, and a number of these clients have come to us recently that said, yeah, we've had to buy a house. We had to go in on the LLC with the company owner. Can you imagine? You want to invest in a piece of real estate, and the owner of that quote unquote turnkey company is making you go in on an LLC with him. So he's getting a cut. What madness? What world are we living in? Anyway, just really frustrating. So I just wanted to say at the top, our company doesn't do any of that. When you buy a property with us, you're going to be buying it at appraised value or even below the appraised value. And that is a fact. And we encourage you to not only do an appraisal, do an inspection, come to town, meet the whole team. You can see what kind of great properties we have. But the bank is going to do an appraisal, and you're going to be stunned to realize that that property is going to be at the appraised value when you buy it or below the appraised value. And you'll never have to pay any kind of additional fee to work with our team. Like they're charging $10,000 to work with it. Come on. No. We don't believe in that. So anyway, I'm a little fired up about it, and I wanted to share that with you on this pre-July 4th, because we're all about freedom. I want you to have the freedom to build financial freedom. So you own the property, you buy the property, you own it fully, and you own the cash flow. And you're not on some LLC with a property owner. You're not paying a fee to us or anything. You own the property 100%. That's the way that it should be done. Don't settle for anything less than that, guys. That's really bothers me. Anyway, a little fired up today. Okay, but we've got 3 great questions from you, the audience, today. You can leave us a voicemail question by going to our website. Go to morrisinvest.com. Leave us a voicemail question, and we'll try to answer it for you here on the show. So, all right, let's dive into it. I think our first question, can't really see it. My eyes are getting progressively worse here. Let me get my spectacles on. I think that's from Martin. Watch it be from Maven, and I can't even see the screen from like 3-4 feet away. Martin, I hope. Let's hit play and see what it is.
Hey Clayton, my name is Martin. Thank you for being a great resource and teacher for investing, specifically real estate investing. My question to you is this time now a good time to invest in real estate given that inflation is rising? The recession is looming, and shouldn't we just invest after or once the recession hits?
Thank you so much, Martin. So Moody's this week just said that housing has hit a rock bottom, has hit bottom. That was from Moody's this past week. And so I can't ever tell you when to invest. Do you want to invest when prices are at the highest? It's totally up to you. Here's the thing. I buy real estate in hot housing markets and down housing markets. Natalie and I are buying 4 properties right now. I can only speak for myself, but we are buying 4 single family homes as we speak. And you could always sit around and find an excuse not to invest. Oh, CNBC is telling me that prices are plummeting. I want you to remember when you hear stories like this, that the prices are coming down in these bubble markets. Boise, Idaho, Salt Lake City, Utah, Austin, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona. These are towns that I would never invest in. They are incredibly overpriced for your ROI to make sense. Okay, bottom line. We don't invest in those towns. So we invest in towns which CNBC actually called recession resistant. I think even one article, they called it recession proof, because it's not flashy. It's not sexy. It's not like Boise, Idaho, where everyone was moving. No, we're investing in building our homes in Lubbock, Texas, near Texas Tech University, all the healthcare and business that's there. It's not flashy. It's not sexy. It's not Austin, Texas. But guess what? It's growing tremendously and people need a place to live. And you got great school districts, great businesses. You have a variety of businesses, low crime. You're in Texas, which is the #1 landlord-friendly state in the country. Again, it's not sexy Vegas. It's not sexy Miami. But those are the stories that make headlines. So when you hear about housing prices coming down, what you're hearing about it mostly is in those bigger markets. So I can't tell you when to invest, but I can tell you that you will always find an excuse not to invest. And remember something very, very important, Martin, which is it's time in the market, which matters the most to me. Okay, time in the market. So if you wait a year, that's a year that you haven't built equity. That's a year that you haven't received cash flow, right? Positive cash flow. Like all of our properties that we build, it's positive cash flow. You should be receiving positive cash flow, passive income. And you also have this amazing tax shelter. And you're building equity for your net worth. All of those things. That's time in the market. When you're not in that space, though, and you're trying to time the market, you're losing because you can never time the market. Timing the market is impossible. So, Martin, let me ask you this. I'll just be frank with you. When you ask the question, should I wait until it hits like a low price or whatever? Well, okay, but where and when? And what will you know? Like, I guess my question is, will you wake up that morning and you'll say, yep, today's the day. Things aren't going any lower. How will you know that? How exactly will you know? Because an investment has to make great sense on paper. So when I look at the numbers for an investment, I'm saying to myself, well, this property is going to produce an 18% internal rate of return, and it's in one of the best rental markets in the country. And I'm not getting that with my money sitting there in the bank account right now because it's losing value according to next to inflation. So, okay, that makes sense to me. I'm going to pull the trigger and I'm going to invest. Or you could sit back and say, I'm going to wait until some arbitrary day where I think that it's hit some kind of a bottom. Again, how will you know? And what exactly is that bottom to you? You see, the areas where we've invested in are really insulated from these huge price swings. Sure, prices have come down a little bit. Okay, well, now's the great time then, right? If prices have come down a little bit, great. To me, that's a reason to jump in. Are you going to wait for it to go back up again? You know, it's up to you. But all I'm saying is when you see these headlines about the housing prices have come down, they've come down in a lot of the big markets that were really inflated. Boise, Idaho, particularly. Austin, Texas, particularly. Denver, Colorado. Places I would never invest. These are retail markets. These are people where housing markets where you're going to live in it to buy it, to live in it, not to invest. So I hope that you find that helpful. But again, Moody's this week saying housing prices have hit bottom. Okay, well, what's below bottom? I don't know, but that's what Moody's is saying. I'm just telling you what Wall Street analyst firm is saying about housing prices. So you could start to see Boise and those places start to come back up again. And the Fed looks like it's going to be setting up for a number of rate cuts coming up here in the near future. The Fed watchers are pointing to significant rate cuts coming up here from the Fed, perhaps even 2 rate cuts this year. So again, if we know that that's in the cards coming up, and we know that prices are great right now, like, what are you waiting for? I don't know. I'm just asking you, Martin. Let me know what would make you invest. Like, what's a point at which you would say, yes, now it's golden, now it's perfect. I got news for you. It's never perfect, and you can't time the market. But if the numbers make sense and it's a great investment, you can always refinance something later on. right? But it's time in the market. So you're building equity over this. So maybe you wait 2 years. Well, imagine having 2 years of equity that you've built up because a tenant was paying your rent and built up equity in a property. Imagine that. Now you've got 60, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 of equity that you've built up in 2 years because you didn't try to time the market. Anyway, that's my thought on timing the market. Thank you, Martin, for that question. Got me fired up. And good question. Really, really good question, Martin. Thank you. All right, our next question.
Hey Morris, my name is Steven. I'm 23 years old. I'm currently making around 60K per year. I have around 11K saved up in savings, crypto, ETFs, and dividend stocks. I was wondering if I should take that money and invest it in with Connect Invest. That way I could save up enough money for a down payment on a property, or if I should leave that money alone, only take a small portion of it and invest it with Connect Invest and keep investing with them. That way I could build up enough money for a down payment on a property.
Thank you, Stephen. Great question. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you where to put your money. This is totally up to you. But if I had money sitting in an ETF or a volatile stock market, and I had the opportunity to take some of that. Now, he's asking about our partnership with Connect Invest. They set up a program where it allows you to invest in real estate at smaller numbers, right? So not buying a house, but you're actually investing in real estate funds that are allowing you to get great returns, and you can do it for 12 months, 24 months, et cetera. So if you go to morrisinvest.com/connect, you can invest in real estate for as little as $500. So I would just read through that and see if it's a fit for you, and great returns. I mean, we're talking like 9% returns, just by putting, let's say you wanted to put $5,000, you don't have enough for a $45,000 or $50,000 down payment on a larger property. You want that money though to generate great returns. What if you took 5,000 and you put that into real estate fund and you pull it out after a year or 18 months or 24 months, whatever structure you have with them, and you get these great returns in that amount of time? I just will ask you, are you getting that kind of a return in the stock market? Are you getting that kind of a return with crypto? So it's totally up to you. For me, I'm much more of a real estate investor. I have a little bit of crypto, but if I want something to grow so that I can actually use as a down payment, and I can see these exact returns at like 9% returns on investment, and I know that I can keep it in there for 12 months and I can pull that money out then and reinvest it into more real estate, that's what I'm going to do personally. But again, I can't tell you what to do. It's your personal money. You have to sort of make that decision. But maybe you feel like, okay, that 11,000 I have in there, maybe I split it up and I take 5,000 out of it and I put it into real estate, and I keep the other 5,500 in there for crypto or ETFs, whatever you're comfortable with, and allow that to grow in that way. Totally up to you. But of course, we've seen what happens with crypto and the stock market. We see these wild swings where you had 11,000 in there and then overnight you have 5,000 because of the volatility. I can tell you that, to me, that doesn't happen with real estate. If I'm investing in real estate, I'm investing in consistent cash flow and appreciation against inflation. That's how I invest in real estate. And I don't see these wild swings at all, ever, in real estate, the way that, unless you're like flipping houses, which I don't do, right? You buy a house for 100 and suddenly the market goes down and now you're like, oh my God, I got to sell this thing and the price is only worth 80. But I don't flip houses. So, it's totally up to you. But again, your mileage may vary, Stephen. I hope you found that helpful, but it's worth giving them a call. So again, go to morrisinvest.com/connect. We've set up a special program with them just for Morris Invest listeners. If they wanted to invest a small portion, a little bit of money into real estate, you can allow that money to grow until you're ready to pull the trigger on some bigger accounts. All right, our next question, Jessica, I believe.
Hello, my name is Jessica. I'm from Michigan, and I've been watching your videos for a while, about a year now, and I'm really I feel like a newborn baby when it comes to all this. And I would really love some advice so I can learn more about money and financing, because I would definitely love to get into it. But where to start is where I'm lost at for not having much information about everything. So I would love to hear back from you on where to start as a newbie, I guess. I love your show, and I would love hearing back from you guys. Bye.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you, Jessica, and thank you for the humility there. You know, it takes a brave person to say, "Look, I don't know anything. Treat me like a newborn baby. I don't know what's going on here. You know, I'm a newbie. Fill me up like a cup." You know, I think that that's how people really learn, with that kind of humility that Jessica just showed us all. You know, the type of people that walk into a cocktail party and they pretend like they know everything, right? And they're talking the entire time. You know these people, right? And so they never learn anything because they're talking all the time. And so I love that Jessica is saying, hey, I'm like a newborn baby. I don't know anything. I've been listening to your videos, but I'm just not sure where to start. And I would say, first of all, we'll link it up here in the description of this video and podcast. We have a whole playlist to help you get started. So we'll link that up here, a whole video playlist. I think it's like 6 videos to help you get started. But I should also mention, Jessica, we have our Financial Freedom Academy. I don't talk about it often, but that's why Natalie and I built the Financial Freedom Academy. If you go to financialfreedomacademy.com, we have a 10-module course on building financial freedom. We take you through step by step how to start thinking about money and building wealth. And, you know, the testimonials speak for themselves. I mean, we have people who've just praised the heck out of it, saying it's the thing that changed their life. Plus, then you get access to our private Financial Freedom Academy Facebook group with some amazing people in there as well. So I would check that out, the Financial Freedom Academy, but start with that free video playlist. Check out the Financial Freedom Academy. And then a few books that I would definitely have you reading as well. Definitely read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know, read my friend Robert Kiyosaki. Read his amazing book. I think it's a book you should read every year. Okay? Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then I also want you to read Tom Wheelwright's great book, Tax-Free Wealth. These 2 books can totally change your mental paradigm. Okay? And then from there, I would read Gary Keller's great book, The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. Those 3 books and our Financial Freedom Academy and the free playlist should absolutely transform your life. I think, and get you really set on the right path. So you're no longer a newborn baby. You will basically get a full financial education in a short amount of time with all these great resources. Anyway, I hope you found that helpful, Jessica. Thank you for your humility on that. And I think more people should act like Jessica, acting like you know something when you don't. You know, there's a lot of power in saying, I don't know. I really try to teach that to my kids. Like when someone asks you a question, hey, have you ever heard of this book? No, I've never heard of it. But pretending that you have, then it completely closes you off from what they were going to share with you. You know, hey, do you know the answer to this question? No, I don't. Can you enlighten me? Can you teach me? It's powerful. It's powerful. And look, we all do it sometimes just because maybe we're short on time and we don't want to listen and sit through an answer or something. You know, we all do it, right? Don't do it. Do it like Jessica just did. I love that. I'm really touched by that. Anyway, you can leave us a voicemail question if you like. Go to morrisinvest.com, click on the microphone icon on the right-hand side of your screen, and leave us a 30-second voicemail question there, and we will attempt to answer it here on the show. Thank you to all of the great questions. Now go out there, take action, become a real estate investor. I believe it's the #1 way to build wealth and to preserve wealth. We'll see you next time.